Shalom. Today we're going to talk about the 12 tribes. So I'd like to give big request to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, and a big request also to the GMS crew out there in New York and the camps that are all across the US, the Chicago boys, Texas boys, the New York camp, Philadelphia camp, the camps across the UK, South London boys, Dagenham boys, the West Indies, the Benjamite crews out there, the soldier with his two little sons, and all of the rest of the Israelites who are scattered across the four corners of the world. And today we're going to cover who the 12 tribes are and who they are today. Now here we've got a map of Israel. Before we went into the land, it was called Canaan. 12 tribes. And as you can see, the land was divided between the 12 tribes. You have Judah, tribe of Judah down here, lived next door to the tribe of Dan, tribe of Benjamin, Reuben, Gad, Manasseh, Ephraim, Manasseh again, lived on both sides of the River Jordan. It's the River Jordan going down there, it's the River Jordan there. Tribe of Issachar, Zebulun, Naphtali, Asher. Now this is the land that was given to the 12 tribes, the Israelites, by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. This is our homeland, not where we live today, in England, in America, in Australia, Canada, South America, all throughout Europe. This is our homeland. And we're going to be talking about the people that come from this homeland, who they are today, and who were they back then, so we can actually identify who the true Hebrew Israelites are. Okay. So now we're going to show you, first I want to show you some pictures, and then we're going to go into some scriptures so that we know who we're talking about. Now this is the Bible history as in pictures. Now in here I'm going to show you different pictures of the people that lived back then, because popular to a country believe, there was very few white people who we know as Edomites who lived back then. And they were just one tribe, well they were more than one tribe, but they're all descendants from Esau, and they're all descendants from the Edomites tribes. Now at that time they were probably the only set of white people living back then, but they wasn't even around until Jacob was born, because that's Jacob's twin. Now as you can see, these are pictures to do with the different kings, Jewish kings that lived back then, and also Assyrian kings, so you can have an idea of who we're looking at here. Now this is Sargon I. He lived about 2400 BC. Now he was one of the kings from the Egyptian Empire, one of the first that ruled the Egyptian Empire. So a lot of our history we have to take from what the Egyptians had, because they documented nearly everything and drew pictures of them. Now these are pictures that date back from probably, we're talking probably 3,000 years ago. Now even longer than that, probably 3,500 years ago. Because these are pictures of the Egyptians with the Hebrews who were in bondage under them, as you can see there. Now we have more pictures showing you, again, those that you see, these are the Egyptians and the Hebrew Israelites, as you can see they're as black as tar. They're not these modern day Egyptians that you see today are European Egyptians. these were bred out by Alexander the Great. These are not the original Egyptians. The original Egyptians still live in Egypt. The Nubians, the Sudanese. Those are the original Egyptians. Those Sudan people that you see fighting today over the north and south, those are the original Egyptians. Not those that you see in the land today. Those that you see in the land today are Arabs that come out from the Middle East into Egypt, that come from the Persian Empire, who were taken over by Alexander the Great, and then after him, his 4 generals. And they breed them out over 500 years, and then the Romans took over. So that's why they all got straight hair and light skins. A lot of them even look white, look European, but they are not the Egyptians. These are your Egyptians. They were dark, black like tar, living amongst the Hebrews. The Hebrews were living amongst the Egyptians because we were under bondage with them, as you can see from these pictures. Then you've got these are actual cast models to do with the Egyptians and the Hebrews living under bondage. There we go again. I have to show you these things so you can actually see what's going on, how they've changed. You know, when you watch these are the Egyptians today again, as you can see, they're all black people. You know, when you're watching things like the 10 Commandments and Moses and Ben-Hur, all these different Roman movies to do with the times of Christ and before Christ, during the Babylonian times, the Syrians, all these people were black. All of them. The Babylonians were black, the wicked Babylonians were black, the Assyrians were black. The Syrians were black as well as the Assyrians. They were all black. The Persians were black as well. All of these people were black. Let me tell you this now, as you can see. And this is an actual Persian king here. As you can see again, more pictures. Now these pictures that I'm showing you here in this book are all pictures that are taken photographs from out of the tombs in Luxor in Egypt. Out of the tombs, and also from the different monuments that were built by the Egyptian pharaohs back then. By Ramesses, by Akhenaten, by all of these pharaohs that lived back then. They all built and drew pictures of the people that they lived amongst, that they enslaved, the wars that they won. They very rarely would show you stuff about the wars that they lost, because like most countries that conquer, they only want to show you their victories. But as you can see, these all come from the tombs and the caves and the buildings that were built over 3,000–4,000 years ago by the Egyptians, showing you who the people were, who they were, and who lived amongst them. There wasn't no white people living amongst them, none at all. As you can see again, we've got the Egyptians and the Hebrews again. Because this history, this is the Bible as a history in pictures, showing you the times that we lived amongst them. Then we have once again here, and this is depicting when it talks about when the Lord spoke to Moses, saying that I have heard the murmurings of the children who have just spoken unto them, saying, at evening ye shall eat flesh. And it came to pass that that evening the quails came up and covered the camp. So this is during the Exodus. Now this is the picture to do with during the Exodus of the Hebrews. Now I can't see not one white Hebrew there. You can see the quails, those are the birds, and these are all in the Bible. All of these are documented history. This is after they fled Egypt, after the Exodus. This is the Exodus. And this is when the children of Israel were crying out, saying that they'd only been eating bread all this time in the wilderness. And the Most High gave them quails, which was meat to eat, which was birds, as you can see, and it's depicted. These are black people. These are not these white, imposter, Eastern European Khaza Jews that you see in Israel today. Not a single one of those people are Israelites, are Jewish, are from Israel, from the nation of Israel. Not at all. They're all from Eastern Europe. Every single one of them. Now if I go again, Now this is a picture depicted telling a story about King David, when King David fought the lion that had taken away one of his sheep when he was out herding his sheep together, and he went and he took the lion from the mouth. He took the sheep from the mouth of the lion, and it tells you the story here as well. Basically, it says the formidable beast, the formidable beast of the prey, was to be found all over Palestine in the biblical times, not only in the pride of Jordan, and it says in Jeremiah 49:19, but also in Samaria, in Moab, and as David's case, in the mountains of Judah. It tells you that, and that's in, you can read Isaiah 15:9, it will tell you that, Kings 17:25, and it tells you about the story. It says, and David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion, and took a lamb out of the flock, and I went out after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose again against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him. And this is a picture depicting what David did. And as you can see, you know, white people have straight hair. These are people with curly hair. You can see their hair, look at their beards, you can see, look at their features. These are black people. These are not white people. King David was a black man, and we'll go into that in the Bible, and we'll prove that to you from the scriptures as well. His son, King Solomon, was a black man. His father, Jesse, David's father, Jesse, was a black man. So, you know, we will go into the Bible and show these things, but I just want to start showing the pictures so you can get an understanding. These are more pictures again showing our people back then. These are the Hebrew Israelites living amongst the Egyptians under bondage. As you can see, the ones doing all the work are the Hebrews, the Israelites, because contrary to popular belief, the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids. Why would you have hundreds of thousands of people enslaved under you, and then you're going to turn around and pay your own Egyptians to do something that the slaves can do for free? The same thing that the Caucasian, the white man, did to us by taking us from the west coast in Africa and bringing us to build up their empires in America, in Australia, and all throughout Europe, is because it was free labour. That was the idea of them enslaving us, because they can get work done for nothing. The white man didn't build Europe. The white man didn't build America. It was the black man and the North American Indians. Because these were the people that were enslaved. And when you enslave somebody, they do your work for you. You don't have a slave in your house sitting around lounging on the settee all day. It doesn't make sense. It's contrary to popular belief that it doesn't make any sense. So when people say the Egyptians built the pyramids, they didn't build them. The Israelites built the pyramids because they were under bondage for 430 years. You're talking about 10 generations. Now, don't get me wrong. The Egyptians would have done some work themselves, but the majority of the work was done by the Hebrew Israelites, because they were the people under the longest